Waiting for some people to come in here, y'all. This is a live stream. So if you're watching this tomorrow or the next day, that's why I'm sitting here waiting. Or the next day, that's why I'm sitting here waiting. I'll be getting the comments tomorrow. What the heck, man? Why didn't you say nothing for 30 seconds? We got 3 people coming in. 3 people here. It's going to be an entertaining show, ladies and gentlemen. Entertaining. Oh. Wait for a few more people to come in here. Randall, what's up? Good to see you, sir. Make sure the chat's working. Yeah, so Lowry's been advertising. He's going to do a live stream at 3 o'clock. And he's interviewing none other than Detective Rogers, Anthony Rogers. He's actually the president of the union. I guess he took Sergeant Gaynor's job. Not really sure there. But Detective Rogers is the guy. Got some more people coming in. That's good. So Councilman Lowry's doing a live stream at 3. He's been announcing it all week. He's going to have Detective Rogers. And now I'm repeating myself, but there's more people coming in. Anyways, Rogers is the guy who investigated Chief Roy trying to run me over and hitting me and cleared Chief Roy. So basically, he covered it up. It's my opinion and shared by millions of people. Galveston County is very corrupt. Yeah. So this ought to be interesting. Here's his little announcement that he just did a few minutes ago. Let's watch this.
Don't forget, folks, today, 3 o'clock, YouTube and Facebook Live, we are going to be doing my first interview with Galveston Municipal Police Association, Tony Rogers. We get an interview with Tony, pretty cool. So today, 3 o'clock, tune in, YouTube and Facebook. Make sure and share this. Don't forget, folks, today, 3 o'clock.
Y'all aren't going to believe this. Joseph Lowry has stooped to a new low. I didn't think it was possible to stoop any lower, but he did, y'all. Look at this. This guy last night, in a matter of seconds, gained over 9,000 followers in seconds. And when you look at these followers, let's check it out. Yeah, here is and here's his little announcement. But look at this. Look right here, 8.4. Last night it was 9.4. Don't ask me how that happened. I think everybody started bashing him because look at these followers. They're all overseas Chinese bots. So everybody started bashing him. So he went through and tried to delete all of these weird names. He deleted 1,000 names, and dude, it's still so obvious, man. Like you got 9,000 followers overnight, but everything that you've posted today has only got like 1 like on it, man. I mean, look at this, 1 like, no comments. Here we go. He posted this 20 minutes ago. No likes, no comments. He just got 9,000 followers overnight, y'all. Let's see. Three comments. Here we go. He posted this 19 hours ago. He went from having 200 followers to 9,400 followers in seconds. Okay. Now look at this. He posted this 19 hours. There's 18 comments here. All right. Let's see what these comments say. All comments. Oh, there is none. He deleted every comment, y'all. What's going on? Where's all of his brand new 9,000 followers? Look at that. 9,000 followers overnight. And look, this is the third Facebook page that he's set up in the last 2 weeks. He's had 3 pages deleted in the last month. Let's see who's in the chat. Lowry is still waiting for his baggage at the airport. Hey, Foshin, what's up, dude? Oh, let me show y'all a picture of Councilman Lowry here. Let's make sure he says he's going live at 3. That's 3 minutes. He's interviewing Detective Rogers. Detective Rogers is pretty well known for being, I say he's a corrupt cop. He's the one that covered up Detective Rogers trying to run me over, the fire chief who hit me. Gianna says yesterday was incredible. Okay, cool. I'm not used to this. I want to share something else. Share image file. If you're not familiar with who Councilman Lowry is, that's him right there. That's Councilman Lowry. He's going to be going live in a few minutes with Detective Rogers, the president of the union. And we're going to watch along, man. It ought to be interesting. But yeah, you guys, if you didn't know who he was, that's him right there. Big tough guy. Bought 9,000 followers last night on his third Facebook page of the month. They keep getting deleted over and over and over again. Okay. We got to make sure that we're not missing this. It's 2:58. He's been announcing all week he's going live at 3. I know there was something else I wanted to show y'all, but now I'm having a brain fart. Let's play his little. So he says he's not going live on that page. He's going live on this page. Here's his little promo video that he just posted.
Hey, y'all, just a reminder, 3 o'clock, we're going live with Tony Rogers.
Oh, it's not playing. Here, let's play this one.
Forget, folks, today, 3 o'clock, YouTube and Facebook Live, we are going to be doing my first interview with Galveston Municipal Police Association, Tony Rogers. We get an interview with Tony, pretty cool. So today, 3 o'clock, tune in, YouTube and Facebook. Make sure and share this.
I wonder how much he paid Tony Rogers for this interview, because it's become very apparent. What's up, John Eagle? It's become very apparent this guy buys all of his friends. And it's sad because, and he admitted the other day during the press conference that he donated to the sheriff's campaign fund. So he bought the sheriff. He's got all the police in his pocket. And it's pretty sad, man, that wait for this motorcycle to go by. It's pretty sad that all your support are from police that you've paid off. I mean, the guy licks. He's the ultimate bootlicker. He goes beyond licking boots. He actually pays. He licks boots and then pays cops, gives them donations, buys them gifts, whatever he needs to do. That's why he is never arrested for all the crimes that he commits. Anyways, let's refresh this page. Make sure we don't miss this live. This ought to be good. I don't know why this video is screwing up, but you can tell.
Hey, y'all, just a reminder, 3 o'clock, we're going live with Tony.
Look how nervous he looks, man.
Tony Rogers, and it's going to be on YouTube, Lowry News Network.press. And then once we're done, we'll get everything transferred over to the website and go from there. So hope everything works out. First time to do it.
First time to do it. First time to do it, and we're going to be watching. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. All right, let's do a check. It is 3 o'clock. We're going to support him, y'all. Let's support him. He got 9,000 followers overnight. This guy is trending. He's very popular, especially overseas. The people overseas love this guy. So we're going to support him. It's 3:02. Where you at, man? He's late. Let's refresh this. He said he was going live on this page. I've got his YouTube page right here ready to go up too if he goes live there. And look at this clown, y'all. He's got 2 chairs set up behind him in a computer. So they're going to be in the same living room together doing this. This guy is about 100 years behind on the technology. This ought to be a good laugh. I guarantee you they're going to talk about me a good bit of the time. They're obsessed. I live in his head rent-free. It's 3:02, man. You're late, man. I don't like people being late for their own party. Hey, Wingspan, if y'all are just coming in, Lowry is going to interview Detective Rogers. A lot of people say, it is my opinion, he's one of the most corrupt cops in Galveston County. He's not the most corrupt, but he's up there. He's the one that investigated Chief Roy attempting to run me over and hitting me and injure me. And we investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing. Of course. Yeah, he's late. He's a lame. Bought 9,000 subscribers last night. Is he going to chicken out? He's going to chicken out. Oh, gosh. Where is this lame at? Let's take a look at his okay, cool. This is Councilman Lowry here, y'all. If y'all didn't know who he was, he's going to be going live. He's 375. There's his Facebook page. Wait a minute. Where you at, Joseph? There's a picture of his studio, y'all, right there. Him and Detective Rogers are going to be sitting there holding hands. Joseph's going to be down on his knees, licking that boot. All right, we got some people coming in now. I know it's Sunday, y'all, but we can't miss this. Let me check. Where are you at, man? Videos, shorts. He doesn't have any live streams on his YouTube channel. Let me check his other Facebook channel. Make sure he's not pulling a trickery on us. It's 3:05. He's late. Yeah, how weird, man. He jumped up to 9.4 thousand followers in seconds yesterday. And then today he lost 1,000 subscribers. I mean, just very strange activity that does not happen. It's not organic. It is definitely manipulated, and it's like everything in Joseph's life. It's bought and paid for. That's him. It's 3:06 and he's late. So he's already lying to his followers. Like, if you follow this guy or you support this guy or you associate with this guy in any kind of way, you're just showing that you're a dirtbag and a scumbag as well. The fact that the union president is coming to his house to sit down and talk to him shows you just what kind of a scumbag Anthony Rogers is. I mean, look, this guy just bought 9,000 followers for his Facebook page last night. The guy is a complete scam. Yeah, a complete scam, a fraud, a liar, corrupt. And of course, you know, I guess Rogers can't pull out. He's been paid. Let's refresh this page, make sure we're not missing it. Where are you at, dude? Oh, there they are. All right. They just sat down. Look at this studio. Oh my God.
Interview. I've never done one before, so I appreciate you coming on. We'll see where it goes. Let's do it. And got some questions here for you. You know, one of the things I've seen in some of your interviews in the past was what are some of the things you've done to strengthen the GMPA?
Yeah, man, we really try to use, as you do as well, the powers of social media to build a little bit of strength, to build some trust throughout the community. But mainly, the one thing that we like to hang our hats on is, and I say we, man, because this is not a one-man show at all. We have a 9-person board. I'll put my board up against anybody, man. The guy that I have as my treasurer, if he ever leaves, I'm leaving too, because I wouldn't know what to do with the money. The secretary we have, he holds it together. He makes sure everything's sent out on time and everything. We have an amazing board. We've done a lot to just try to show that we do more for the members, for the men and women that we represent. I'm not a political person. I'm not a politician. I don't speak on behalf of Chief Valley, the city, or the PD. We simply speak on behalf of 168 members that we represent, depending on, how many leave and how many come, but our max capacity as a department is 168. And we're 100% full as far as memberships. We're not 100% full. We're not at 160. I think we're like 155 or somewhere around there. But memberships, we're 100% full.
So one of the things you said is you're not a politician. And one of the things I love most about you is, and we need more of it, you speak your mind. And if people don't like that, it's whatever. And there's, for society for so many years, it's, oh, you can't say that, or you can't do this, or pander to this person and pander to that person. And what are your thoughts on people that, oh, you can't say that, or try to suppress what you want to say?
Rogers is juicing. Look at this.
We're going to speak our mind when it comes to defending our officers. We're going to speak our mind when it comes to defending good police officers, good police work. Here recently, and
what a lame.
We try to assure that we have everything together. We have the facts of what's going on before we just reach out and say something. A Tech City officer that got into an incident in Kima, that's a part of the countywide task force. We were the first ones to really come out and say anything, but I knew, I don't want to say I knew details of what happened. I knew everything that happened. We came out and we put it out there, and then eventually Grizzy shared stuff, and it really started getting some traction. And she's awesome, man. Like, I've worked with her a bunch. She's amazing. She's helped us out a ton. But we started putting that out there because we knew like, you're backing a good cop. You're backing a guy who was doing the right thing, dealing with the fucking turd and his wife who was acting like a turd. And we put it out, man. And I don't apologize for it, but I think 2 days later the truth came out and everybody was like, "Oh crap, they were right." So
yeah, I got a lot of people that jumped on me, and I took a lot of heat for not. Everybody wanted me to jump on the bash the police officer bandwagon. I wouldn't do it. And I said, let me get the facts, and then I'll make a statement. That's what I did.
Yeah, they released the video really fast whenever it shows that the cops didn't do anything wrong. But when they're in the wrong, they won't release the video. They'll talk about video, but they won't ever release it.
There's so much bashing in law enforcement these days, and it's almost like the mainstream, the lamestream media. It's like it's their duty almost, and so it's important. I seen an incident yesterday. Two officers, they had to detain somebody who was trying to eat drugs, and they're in the middle of Broadway. It's dark out, and cars are just flying by them. They're wrestling this guy on the ground, and they get him detained. They get the drugs out of his mouth, and as I'm walking away, I hear these comments from these people like, I'm like, what is wrong with people in society nowadays? I'm like, this guy was a bad person or doing bad things, and but some of the things that they were saying, I was like, what is wrong with society nowadays? The logic behind some of these people.
There's so many things that you see, negative things that occur, and there's times where that does tell the majority of the picture. But a lot of times people see a 5-10 second clip, and there's 5 or 10 minutes that led up to that 5 or 10 second clip, and there's other facts behind it, and that's like you said, let the entire truth come out. And we're not gonna, we as a union, as an association, we're not going to pander to the majority just because, and say something just because it's what they want to hear, because it's what everybody else is saying. We're gonna find the facts, and we're gonna back our men and women for sure.
Keep speaking the truth.
So it's
keep lying.
So many people try to silence the truth. So many people try to pander to the majority of the people and say what's going to make people happy. I don't care what's going to make people happy. I don't work for, you represent people that you haven't even met as a councilman, and I respect the hell out of that. The president of the United States represents, no matter who that may be, represents people that he's never met. I represent 167 other men and women that I know and I work with every single day, and we're going to fight for them tooth and nail, as long as they're doing the right thing. And we have, just like those two officers yesterday, they do the right thing. They do a damn good job.
Yeah, they are very, very well respected in the community and within the department. I'm not going to say any names out there, but
what a lame.
They're well respected members. How would you say that you've improved the relationship with the chief and the city administration? I know that there was a little bit of a rough spot with the city manager down there.
Yeah, it wasn't so much the city manager. It was kind of some people under him. The chief was easy. I mean, the chief, we didn't really have to improve the relationship.
How embarrassing. How could you even show up and do an interview with a guy that had 200 followers yesterday, and you wake up and he's got 9,400 bot followers? I mean, just a disgrace, man. It just goes to show you what kind of a detective Rogers is, man. They're all
with Chief Valley. We had to continue the relationship and strengthen the relationship. And once Chief Valley began to really know that he can trust us, and we know we can trust him. So you own a business, you're going to have employees that screw up. All you can ask for is fairness, man. That's all you can ask for. And that is a lot of what the problem is in places like Texas City. League City has a fantastic, fantastic chief. We have
this is cringe, awesome, man. I'm telling you.
If you mess up, he's going to get on your ass. He's going to, not only get on your ass.
I feel uncomfortable with all this. How cringy this is.
But he's going to love you too. That's all you can ask for.
You need accountability, and people respect that. At the end of the day, they're going to have more respect for someone that's going to hold them accountable versus someone that just lets them go.
As far as the city, man, like our relationship with the city manager, with Brian Maxwell, has been that was something that we had to. The trust was more earned. We had to really fight to get that trust with him, but we did, and this worked out in our favor. It's worked out in his favor. Not like I said, some of the people under him, we had some issues with, but I think most of that's been very well taken care of. I call him Brian. People call him Mr. Maxwell. I call him Brian because I call him. I say, "Hey, Brian."
Up here we go with the technical difficulties.
He has an open door policy with us. I meet the guy for coffee. We go have coffee. He's told me no one time, and by the time he explained why he was saying no, I was like, "Oh, that's a good decision." Right? but it's being able to see through a different lens, right?
Detective Rogers is
Being
wearing
able to
his
see
shirt.
through a lens that he has to protect the city, he has to protect the city's money, assets, whatever. But he gets to see it through my lens as far as like trying to represent our guys, and I get to see it through his lens, and we both do a very good job of being able to kind of see what the other sees, and either figuring out a happy medium, or like I said, most of the time he's like, yeah, man, I'll do whatever you want.
That's good. That's one of the things
Man,
in
this is lame,
city
man.
government that, you know, our police department here is just, I don't know how to do it. I mean, I've heard other, you know, when I had my gym and stuff, I trained some guys.
Here we go with the bootlicking, y'all.
They said, and I've heard officers here say, you can go to Lamarck and get 10 years training in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because of how volatile it is here. And so when I got on city council as elected official, and I started seeing, you know, they didn't have any of the stuff that they needed to, you know, perform tasks. I seen one of the vehicles that they were using to do a raid, and I'm like,
woo!
I was embarrassed. I was ashamed for my city. And you know, this last year was finally we were able to get them some stuff. So I'm glad that the city administration is working with you. You guys have to have the tools you need.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how many warrants you guys are executing in a month or a year, but you know, we're doing a couple hundred a year, you know, between 200 and 300 a year, and you know, walking up to these houses sitting ducks. I mean,
he's talking like he's a cop. Listen to him.
Yeah, we got one coming too. So
we're doing
you
100
know,
search
they
warrants a year, and we walk up to
crazy people out there nowadays. A lot of them.
he thinks he's a
Yeah.
police officer, y'all.
I know a lot of the guys and girls that work at Lamarck, and I've actually, in speaking to them, especially way back when I worked night watch and stuff, and I speak to some of them, man, they have like 2 officers and a supervisor on the streets, and I'm like, how? Like how do y'all do that, man? Like these I have the utmost respect for Lamarck people. Like I said, I don't know.
It's just a
I don't
bootlicking
know the chief.
convention.
I don't know how things are run on the inside, but those officers, man, they work their ass off.
Rogers
This is a
even
tough
bought his
city to work
bootlicking
in.
boots. Look how clean they are. Look how clean those boots are, y'all.
Get hammered as far as calls for service and reports and everything else. So these y'all are very fortunate to have the guys and gals y'all have.
We got a very good team right now, very good team, and their heart is in it. Their heart is definitely, they have a love for Lamarck. And what are your thoughts on, now I get a lot of tips to my tip line, and I get, you know, some people think that my tip line is unsecure. I have no idea when I get a tip, just so the public knows, there's no tracing. Nobody is ever going to find out where that came from.
He gets his tip from Chinese bots, y'all.
But I got, and so some people call me, and you know, they'll call a 3-way to a 3-way to call me and tell me this, and it's like we received and we validated was, you know, our department per code is not even shouldn't even be a utilized building. If they set the standards for our department for a commercial building across the street, it would be shut down. So what are your thoughts on our department being run and still being utilized when we don't have air conditioners, we don't have heaters in the wintertime? And
yeah, if y'all have any tips, call the tip line. It's the Lowry's tip line. Lion News.
The ventilation system just blowing into the attic, and asbestos, and our officers are breathing that on a daily basis.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know how the inner workings of the city of Lamarck's finances go. You do obviously way better than I do. I can tell you, we served a warrant and did a search warrant in a local Lamarck neighborhood with Sean Zeke and some of the other guys that are on their street crime task force. Great group of guys. I want to say a month or two ago, and I went to Lamarck PD, and it's the first time I've been there in quite some time. I was like, damn, this building looked old when I was there 2-3 years ago. And I went, and it just gets older by the day. It seems like, man, it's those guys and girls definitely deserve something better than what they had. Even if it's not a brand new building, something, move the department somewhere else or something. It's hard to work in there, but that goes to It goes to show the type of officers y'all have here, man. They'll fight for it, but that's home. You know what I mean? That's home.
Mm-hmm.
And if home is a little run down, it's still home, man. They love Lamar. They work for the city.
Thanks for coming.
Work for the city. And they work.
Thanks for coming on.
That's home, man.
Technical
So speaking of home, obviously you chose Galveston. What made you choose Galveston Police Department, and how long have you been in law enforcement?
So I did 12 years at the county. I left the county. I've been at the PD about almost 9.5 now. I did 12 years at the county first, the sheriff's office. Enjoyed working over there. Left there, went to the PD. Like I said, 9.5 years ago. I tried to go to GPD back in maybe 3 or 4 years in the beginning. The chief at the time had a little bit of a hiccup with my uncle who was previously employed there and my grandfather who was chief there. So I'm third generation GPD, man. Born on BOI, I was born on the island. I'm third generation. There's a picture hanging in the hallways of like me and my uncle, my grandpa, and my cousin, all in GPD uniforms.
Really?
So it's almost like that's home. That's where I was supposed to be all along. So I love it, man.
If you're coming in late, this is the detective that investigated the felony assault with a deadly weapon. Chief Roy tried to run me over and hit me with the fire truck. This is the detective that covered it up. We investigated ourselves and determined he was a hero. And so, of course, Lowry is going to lick this guy's boots and line his pockets. And, look how clean his boots are. Lowry has licked every speck of dust off of those cowboy boots before this interview started. It's all in his beard. You can see it.
I have no will, no aspirations to ever be.
That's very cool. Very cool. What's your take on the ongoing saga at Tech City Police Department and what's going on in Tech City?
Yes.
The lack of manpower, and it's not just from people leaving or firing. You're punishing officers, experienced officers, by reassigning them to the jail.
Oh my God!
When you do that, are you punishing the officer?
Oh, poor baby, you're punished.
That officer's still getting paid. The officer's getting paid the same thing they'd be getting paid if they're sitting in working the streets, sweating their butt off. Right. Now they're sitting in the air condition, twiddling their thumbs, making the same amount of money. So who are you really punishing when you're
twiddling their thumbs, but they're still hiring
the citizens, the visitors, because you're taking an experienced officer, regardless of the length of time that experience is, you're taking that officer off the streets. I know when Ravens first took over in Texas City, those guys were excited to have him because he was a union guy for the longest. He came from the inside, and everything they told me about him prior to the shenanigans that are going on kind of reminded me a lot of Chief Ballard. Grew up in the department, came from the inside, was a union guy. But man, like Chief Ballard's went this way, he's that way. I don't know. I'm assuming this is strictly an assumption. All that's just to cater to the mayor.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The mayor's very retaliatory. There's no doubt about that, and I think that it's to cater to the mayor.
The mayor's very retaliatory.
Speaking of the mayor, what are your thoughts of the 2 people now arrested with felony charges outside Texas City, and them still being employed?
I've never thought about making another Facebook like that fakes to be like somebody else.
Lowry does it all the time.
I don't understand what they thought would be gained by that. And you got 2 people now that were arrested on it's a felony.
Yeah, felony.
A 3rd-degree felony, and they're still employing these folks. Like if that was an officer.
Chief Roy tried to run me over. That's a felony, and he's still employed. These guys are such hypocrites, man.
You take Officer A from Tech City PD who is not happy with the administration, and that officer makes a fake the mayor, and that officer is arrested for it. They are unemployed within 24 hours.
You would think, but I agree that should happen. But like you said, cater to the mayor, and I believe that. My belief is that he can't let him go because what
they'll start singing.
They'll start singing. No different than what we're facing, where the other guy here on the mark got the felony, tried to frame me, lit his fence on fire and all that.
Burn your own stuff down. That's money in trouble. That's kind of logging.
It's pretty wild. You know, something I got to touch on. Harvey Freeberg,
My man, Harvey. I love Harvey. I really don't, but I do. Harvey is, you know, for speaking about the law as thoroughly as he does, as much as he does, you would think he'd understand the way it operates. Harvey hates me because of a case that I worked. And I won't speak on the case. I don't want to go into details on
he hates you because you have a badge, but go ahead.
for that too. But he really just hates me because of a case that I worked, in which he claims that something occurred to him. And
where he walked into the fire truck.
you know, as a detective, man, like I'm a fact finder when it was something like that. You know what I mean? Like I take all the facts. I called Harvey. I spoke to Harvey multiple times. I spoke to Bruce, who's a lot more respectful than Harvey, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Spoke to Bruce multiple times. Spoke to every single person on the scene. Got video footage. Put everything together. I'm a fact finder, man. I got everything together. I took a folder, a USB and everything over to the DA's office. I sat down with one of the specific DAs who is assigned to stuff like this. Gave everything to them, and they were like, yeah, we're not taking charges. Oh, thank you. Or take charges, whatever you want to do.
He said, thank
I
you.
don't get to make that call.
Right.
I don't get to make that decision. You know, and for Harvey doing all these open records requests and everything like it, go get the video, man. Why don't you show everybody the video? Get their real opinion.
Right.
You know, and I don't know why. Maybe they won't give him the video. I have no idea. But and I get it, man. He's mad at me because I'm the bad person because I'm the cop that worked the case. It's like, I just take everything, give it to the DA's office, and the DA's office said no.
And a lot of people don't understand.
I don't hate the guy. He's a corrupt cop.
They think, well, you make the decision, you make the arrest, and it's almost like people think that you guys are the prosecutors in the case. And you know, yesterday Lamarck there's allegations made against them. Well, they don't make the charges. That's not up to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that the district attorney's office is the one that accepts charges on stuff.
You take the stuff like Texas City, you know, the Facebook stuff in Texas City. It's a third-degree felony, man. We cannot charge someone with a felony without approval from the DA's office. And the DA's office, hate him or love him, we don't deal with upper management of the DA's office. I haven't had issues with anybody over there, but the ADAs that we deal with, they're not just going to take a case because I want them. Like, they don't. I mean, I have a working relationship, a good rapport with them, but it makes them look bad if, you know, they say, oh yeah, we'll take that charge. And that charge ends up being, you know, that charge ends up getting thrown out and they get slaughtered in court. They don't want that. And rightfully so. They shouldn't want that. But
this guy doesn't make any sense. First, he's saying, I'm a fact finder. I gathered the facts. I talked to Bruce and all this stuff. I gathered all the facts. And then in the next breath, he's blaming it on the DA. So you're both corrupt. You both covered up the crime.
It's not, they're not just saying yes to everything. I don't like the stuff in Texas City like that. I guarantee you that was presented to the district attorney's office. The attorney's office said, yes, we'll accept the charge they adhere to, and that person's criminal history. And we don't decide that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not for that type of felony. We don't decide that. Like, people are extremely uneducated on how that works, and that's okay. I'm not mad at them for that, but I'm uneducated on the finances here in Lamarck. Like I said, like how the city works, and can the city afford a new police department? Can the city not? So I don't speak on it. We shared something, you know, that TMPA posted saying, hey, Lamarck needs a new police department. They do need a new police department. Now, can the city afford it? That's a question I can't answer. They need a new one, you know, but can the city afford it? That's a question that I can't answer. But people speak on things that they're so uneducated on. Man. It's crazy. It's just, why are you speaking on here? You don't know.
Yeah. So it's a couple things. Last night, you know, we was out.
Okay, so he's blaming it on the DA. So what does that mean? He's blaming it on the DA. So he's pointing the finger at the DA. So basically he's saying Harvey's mad And he's got a reason to be mad, but it's not my fault. It's the DA. Unbelievable. He's not saying that I don't have any reason to be mad or I'm wrong. He's just pushing it off on the DA. So they're both corrupt.
Running around.
Unbelievable.
There's this, and like I said,
and I have video of him blaming it on the DA too, because I talked to him. We're going to get into this, y'all. I don't want to get too behind on this live.
I took off from the cops, and you guys did an excellent job detaining the guy, got the drugs out of his mouth. It's excellent police work. And here these officers are rolling around in the middle of Broadway. It's dark out. There's accident on 146 Texas Avenue. Obviously not good. You get life flight out there. And so then I see these officers, and I go up there. I want to get some pictures and stuff for Lowry's News Network. And, and I just kept thinking about like Harvey just harassing you guys. He claims First Amendment. I think it goes beyond that. I think that there should be criminal charges. I think that, with what he's allowed to get away with, interfering with investigations, when you pull somebody over, when you pull them out of the car, they're being detained, they're being questioned. There's a purpose for it. But watching them officers last night, somebody had to go home and talk to that family. Mm-hmm. And that officer's not going to forget what he's seen that day, what he had to experience and witness. And then the officer had to go talk to that family. So these are real life things. And, but then they go back to work the next day and they got this jackass heckling them all the time. And, it's for a paycheck. And I talked to some people up around Dallas that he used to harass up there. And, like they said, don't feed the animals. And, and I think that's where Galveston's really messing up, is they're feeding into it. Officers are going to make mistakes. They're humans. And, but feeding them and, don't feed the animals, it'll go away. And apparently up there, what they like he did with the sheriff's department, they had to get his camera because they had to get the evidence off of it. And so it's, but there's a necessity for auditors and First Amendment people to support it. But I think it's just too far with him. And, shining a light in the officer's face when they're trying to, especially here in.
I got $1,000 reward if anybody can find any video of me ever shining a light in cops' faces. This guy's a liar. He has no credibility. He bought 9,000 fake followers last night for his Facebook account. And this detective is still such a piece of shit that he still showed up. Any detective with any kind of integrity and honor would said, no, I'm not going to associate with a dirtbag like Lowry, but this guy's corrupt. He takes payouts. Lowry's probably paid him. So yeah, that's why he's sitting there in his fucking living room.
Mark, that got me hot. He's across the street with his light on, and they're trying to see what's going on over their shoulder. And we're one of the highest crime areas in the entire county, over here in District A, and it just breaks my heart that somebody.
That's not going to stop the Harvey Freebirds from coming and poking. The tragedy that we had go on affects your job, affects you today, and make you allow him to let you act out of character. And law enforcement's young, man. We're a young department. They're young. Texas City's young because they're running everybody off that has an experience. And it's a very young crowd in law enforcement now. But a lot of those guys don't know how to handle something like that. And even the ones that do, they're still. You still have a breaking point. You're human. Yeah, you leave home, you have a disagreement with your husband or wife, or you're arguing, you have some issues with, maybe you got a relative that's sick, and then you go over there and you have this, this jackass messing with you. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure Bill Harvey's watching this.
Oh, his friends.
Yeah, we're watching.
Get a job.
Exactly. The guy knows.
Get a job.
I was thinking about that earlier today. You say that, get a job.
This
He
is
was
my
apparently a
job.
bricklayer in the past, and he's very experienced in cutting up these videos and stuff and making them fit his narrative. So he could use that talent somewhere else. He's got the experience to do something like that. Get a job in the tech world. That's a necessity right now. But it's bothersome. It breaks my heart to see you guys have to deal with that. like you said, there was an incident off duty, and but he's the type of guy that he looks for those opportunities to try to get somebody to break and then say, "Aha, I got you."
Yeah.
And it's sad, but
if you want to audit the police work, if you want to audit police work, and you want to find police doing something corrupt, hey, if you find it, expose it. I'm the first one telling you, expose that shit. I think people don't understand. The people that suffer from crooked cops the most are cops, because then it paints us all in one umbrella. Politicians, city council, state representatives, whatever. The people who suffer the most are the other politicians, because it paints everybody under one umbrella. Come out and audit, man. Do your thing, but there's a way to do it respectfully. And when you start cussing at officers and poking and pry, you're doing it for the picture. It's almost like, dude, how you have nothing else to do? Yeah, Saturday night. I mean,
that's funny you say that about politicians, because people say, "Oh, you're a politician." I say, no, don't call me a politician. I'm an elected official. I tell people I'm an elected official. I hate crooked politicians.
Yeah.
I expose crooked politicians. I'll continue to expose crooked politicians. But I tell people, no, I'm an elected official. I don't use that term.
Yeah.
Well, it's Saturday night. You don't have anything better to do. Saturday night is the best night to cop watch, because that's people's weekends. The cops are out the most. They actually put more cops on duty for Friday and Saturday night. And they're mad because I'm out there shutting down their harassment scheme, or at least I'm keeping a check on it.
And I'm uncut and I'm rough around the edges, and I, kind of goes to my past. And, how do you think that the community is with the trust inside of your department?
And I say that because, number one, Chief Valley is loved amongst the community. Like I said, he's homegrown. He knows everybody. He used to live downtown on the Strand. Back in the day when I think when he was assistant chief or even a lieutenant, and he'd sit outside smoking a cigar on the Strand, and got to know so many people that way. But it's also, we as a union, we as an association, we have tried to incorporate the community into so much more than we do. We've tried to reach out and use social media as a platform to promote things. We have almost every association meeting we have one of the local restaurants will sponsor it and bring food, and we always try to give them a shout out. If they come in, we'll take a picture with them. And it's really built a good bond amongst different people in the community. I think it's.
Yeah, and he bought 9,000 followers last night. And since he got those 9,000 followers, all of his posts have one like. There's 18 comments on one post, but he deleted all of them. This guy's a lame, man. He's a loser. He's a fraud. How anybody if Detective Rogers had any honor or integrity or anything decent about him, he wouldn't be sitting in the living room with this corrupt piece of shit.
As good as it can be, considering the temperature of law enforcement these days, it's never going to be perfect. It'll never be perfect in any city. I don't care what anybody says. Considering the temperature of law enforcement these days, I think it's pretty good. Getting our members and stuff, and people buy them so quick. There's the bike rally is a huge event, and I would say 95% of it is very, very pro law enforcement. You don't buy one of them big old nice.
These guys are idiots, man. They have the camera so far away from them, it's hard to hear. They don't have mics where they're at. I mean, it would have been a lot better if they would have just used a streaming platform like I use. They wouldn't even have had to have been in the same room together. This is ridiculous. You can't even hardly hear them.
That's Harley's. If you're a bum without a job, you know what I mean? You probably got a pretty good job and you don't want to go to jail. You're just coming down there to have a good time. And there's going to be problems like that. We had a shooting at Biker Rally, I think 2 years ago. It's yeah, man, I'm sure it's a heal. So we're gonna make it this year.
Sweet, good. We'll put it out there. So one of the things I want to talk about is
Harvey.
Put it out there. Politicians. Some people usually go from politics to prison, but I went from prison to politics.
Yeah.
He's going back to prison
25, 30 years ago.
As soon as his
I think
payout
it'd
money
be a lot
wears
for the
off.
man, but to be sitting here with the president of a police association doing an interview, it's shocking.
Yeah.
And but what are your thoughts about, you know, Grizzly's kind of the same thing. She had a trouble pass, and I mean she does phenomenal stuff
Yeah.
in Houston. I mean, huge.
Grizzy's the girl that records police too, but she's a bootlicker. She's the one that they let at the roadblock for hours and hours and hours, didn't push her around, took pictures with the sheriff, licking his boots, did an interview with the sheriff. She was all up in it. She was feet away from the cages, taking pictures of the prisoners in cages. But as soon as me and my friends showed up, oh, get back, get back, get back. Had 4 different people push us around. Then they pushed us all the way to the road, put up crime scene tape, then arrested me for being there. They're okay with Grizzy's First Amendment because she licks boots. They just hate my First Amendment because I'm critical of police. I talk about people's rights and I expose cops that violate people's rights. I don't expose good cops. Where are the good cops? Good cops turn in the bad cops. And I haven't seen a good cop in a long time when you think about it like that. There's one guy that I know of on Facebook, Costa Loca. He's a retired sheriff's officer, and he is calling out. He's called out Lowry. He's called out Detective Rogers. He's called out Sheriff Fullen, and he's called out Joel Caldwell. Those are the 4 worst cops, or 4 most corrupt people in law enforcement. That's my opinion, and that's his opinion. And Lowry worships those 4 people. Posts pictures on them on his Facebook, cheers them on. Joel Caldwell just Bruce just won 50 grand from Joel Caldwell last week. And he's got another lawsuit being filed on him this week. I talked to the guy yesterday. These are just bad cops, man. Terrible cops. Just the fact that this cop is sitting in Lowry's living room after all the bullshit that all the stuff that's public that people know is true about this guy would keep any decent cop or any decent politician away from this guy. This guy is bad news. He's got a bad reputation. He buys everything. He probably paid for this interview. This guy's just a loser, man. He's a lame. The fact that Rogers is sitting in there giving this guy an interview makes his credibility and his relationship even worse. And I thought it was impossible to get any lower than his relationship and credibility already is. And we're going to talk about that more after this interview. Let's keep watching.
You know, man, it's some of the, and I'm just going to speak on, I accumulate a lot of stuff in sports, right? Sometimes you learn from you make a mistake and you learn from it. Some people make mistakes and they continue to.
A control freak thing, but is that a law in Texas, or is that just a policy? Or
It says a policy. It's supposed to be a policy amongst our department. I haven't seen it. It may be there. I don't know. I have not looked to see if it's there or not. It's also a policy that we're supposed to provide you with a card. We're not provided with cards. You know, be like, how can I violate a policy if you don't give me the tools to uphold? But we don't have cards. I mean, sometimes we have case cards that'll say case number and then the officer's name. You know, where it'll say officer and you go write it in. Provide you with a card. I mean, we don't have cards. We have those, and we go through those, and we go through those, and we go through. And they order them like crazy, but it's like eventually you run out and you're waiting for the next order to come in. We don't have cards.
That'd be costly.
I will say the name and badge number. There's policies that are there for a reason, and there's policies that are just there because they've been there forever. I think the name and badge number's just been there forever.
But nobody can get in trouble for that, would they? I would hope not.
Nobody's getting in trouble for not getting
I would hope not.
Other than, somebody may follow, hey man, give me a name badge. You know what I mean? But nobody's getting paper put in their lives. Nobody's getting a date off.
Tell them to look at your license plate or something.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, I'm obviously online, quite the smart ass. And Harvey, what went sideways with me and Harvey, not to give him any more airtime, but he was down there harassing the hell out of our officers. He put on like a wristband and, pretended that he had a tire that needed changed. And so I said, man, don't mess with my officers down there.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, what's your name, badge? But I being a smart ass, the first thing that popped in my head was 187, which is, police coach from West Coast. And he has come uncorked ever since and just been unhinged on me. And And he went down there and he waited. He waited for Officer Lowry for like hours on it down at the department. And so they're like, yeah, there's no Officer Lowry here. So that just sent him over the edge even more because he thought he had somebody. And, I'm a bootlicker and all that stuff. But I laugh about it, but it triggered that guy. And oh my gosh.
Bootlicker is supposed to be like code for like police supporter.
I
Is that what that
guess.
is?
I don't know. He's licked their boots, whatever. I'll shine and give me your up, shine up.
I don't know what a bootlicker.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. That's one of his YouTube.
Yeah.
One of the fetishes they have on YouTube, I guess. I'm not sure. But man, I really appreciate you coming up and doing this for me. And
Absolutely, man.
Maybe I'll get some more. Is there any questions online or nobody? People
With
watching?
with the 10 people.
Well, I appreciate it once again.
Yeah, man. You I enjoy what you do. Keep doing what you do, man. And
Buying followers.
Lamar's should be happy to have you. I think you're doing a good job. And I like the way you say it, man. I'm not a politician. I'm an elected official. Because I know you, and I know if there's a day that comes where you're not an elected official anymore, you're still gonna do the same stuff. You're still gonna support the citizens. You're still gonna support police. You're still gonna do all that, man. We really appreciate that. You're not doing this because you're trying to move up in the ranks.
They're licking each other's boots.
And we appreciate that. We truly do.
Yeah. I want to give you guys a voice.
With his 9,000 bot followers.
You guys have a CPA down there, like a Citizens Police Academy down there in Lodi?
We do.
I'm going to try to get something to some of your guys down there because I think you guys are going to like it. But I love doing stuff. I've done, for years. And before I couldn't even be a politician. I couldn't even get elected.
Yeah.
And, I had an expungement or pardon, whatever you guys call it here in Texas.
He used to cook meth.
Gave me that ability. And so, everything that I did in my past, donating, SWAT jackets or anything. I've never turned anybody down in law enforcement when they ask for stuff. But it wasn't for anything in exchange because I couldn't be a politician.
Yeah.
It was never even an option for me before. But once, I found out how corrupt it was and being offered over $1 million by a mayor and watching him get away with it, it drove me to, I have to make a change. And, being where I've been and, I was in with some bad people. And so I've seen the politics, and I say, prison politics because I've seen them, I've lived it. And I didn't get engaged in none of that stuff.
And a lot of people don't know. I don't want to say I know because I never worked in prison, but I worked in the county jail for a couple of years. Politics in jail are a lot rougher than politics in real life. I promise you that. So there's some politics in jail, man. There's some politics in the jail, even the county jail, and I'm sure a prison is probably times 100.
It is a lot of work.
There's some politics there for sure, man.
Yeah, talk about the $50,000 you stole.
GMPA, like our board, we're going to continue to fight for our members. We're going to continue to fight for what's right. And if people don't like that, then I sincerely do not apologize.
Use your voice.
So
keep doing it. We need more people like you. There needs to be more people like me. That's what got me elected. I'll be honest with you, because people were so tired of the norm. You just get in and you follow orders. You get in and you just go with the flow. Well, no, you can vote that way. I stand up for what the citizens want.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. You stand up for what's right and screw the backlash. And that's what you got to do. Don't pander to people. Just, keep doing you, man. Keep standing up and let your voice be heard, especially with the other departments and stuff that can't have a voice.
Yeah.
Carry yours. It's you got a large voice.
And it's sad, man. They and I'm just using Texas City as an example. I'm sure there's other places as well, but they're local. It's sad to see what's going on there. And if those guys and girls try to use their voice, it's just retaliatory. That place is so good. Texas City Police Department at one point was possibly the best police department in this county, and it's just went down the dumps. And
they were making movies after you guys.
Yeah, and it has
Forensic Files.
Yeah. Old BTG there, huh?
Yeah.
He it's sad to see how it's went down the dumps, and it's people can say, well, the chief does this, the assistant chief does this. It starts about that. That's it's a mayor strong town, one of the very, very few that's still mayor strong. It's sad. It's sad to see. So
You look at old pictures. One of the things that I did when when everything happened with Dedrick Johnson and everything, and just everything started going downhill over there, and people were worried about the department. I looked at some of the photographs of how they were dressed like 5-10 years ago. I mean, these guys look like freaking Marines, like they're crisp. I mean, you look at them like, dang. But then you look at them now, and I'm not trying to bag on anybody over there, but it's like, you know, your shirt's over here, your shirt's out, and I'm like, you still represent a department.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like it's just kind of got real lax over there, I guess you could say, but the professionalism.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk when you're
before
done.
to now. But you know, when you lose talent, when you lose the experience, the BTGs and stuff, you know, those were the mentors. Those were the people that, you know, people look still to, that they look up to.
and a lot of that is the mentorship in that angle is not so much. It's almost like being a father. I have kids. It's like
y'all's comments are
I'm
keeping
not-
me entertained.
I'm not telling you don't do this for any reason other than I did it and it was stupid. So don't do the same stupid stuff that I did.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how, you know, that's how Brian and some of those older guys and a bunch of the older guys at GPD that we've been fortunate enough to, I've been fortunate enough to come through with, that I've known forever. Like, hey man, I did this and I did this. Don't do that. Instead, do this. And that's you lose all of that. You know what I mean? You lose, and that's why I don't understand why you would want to get rid of that experience.
Have you guys picked up some of the Tech City talent down in
We have not. The sheriff's office picked up a ton.
Yeah, they picked quite a bit.
They picked up a ton. I mean, good for them. I mean, that's Jimmy's doing a fantastic job down there. And while we're live, I want to honestly and truly say thank you to Sheriff Full and his staff.
Here goes the bootlicking,
Constable
y'all.
Patton. Like I said, we had a tragic death of one of our officers, and yesterday was a service. We didn't have
While we're live, I want to lick the sheriff's boots.
Yesterday. They were all allowed to go to the service because Sheriff Fullen and Constable Patton brought their people down to patrol the island so that the people that were supposed to be at work go to his service. And the brotherhood, the camaraderie that is come with Sheriff Fullen taking over, and it was there, but it's escalated times 100. It's crazy to see, man.
He's built a team.
Absolutely fantastic to see. He's built a team, and he's still building. He's still building, man. He's got some very young people in some leadership roles that have a different outlook, and that's good. That's good. They have some. They have an outlook that really looks beyond kind of that old school stuff, and looks beyond kind of the looks towards more like a new age of policing.
Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see Fullen on one of Harvey's feeds, and not to be harassed by him or anything, but the fact
God damn.
here it is 10, 11 o'clock at night, and your elected sheriff's out here on the streets in the community.
Yeah.
Harassing people for no bike light.
Picking up bad guys. I'm like, that is very respectable.
You know, man, and the man is
Harassing black
people. Go answer calls, or go ride around, and he's wearing the same uniform, the same vest that everybody else is wearing.
Yeah.
And that's how it's kind of becoming Galveston. We had like 2 homicides in like a quick 48-hour period.
It's so respectable. The sheriff's out there harassing.
In the June, early July, I can't remember which one it was. And I'm standing there at 3 o'clock in the morning at a convenience store trying to get some video. And Chief Valley pulls up, full uniform. I'm like, the hell
Their
you
numbers
doing?
have dropped to 11.
Yeah,
Ours
so-
went up to
so
171.
You can't do anything to respect.
Hit the like button. It'll make the video get
And
more people.
we were looking
y'all.
for a particular vehicle, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go ride around, see if I can find it." Cool, man. If you do, like, get on the radio, say something so other people can come.
Red pickup truck.
No, it was not a red pickup truck. Anyway, but that's leadership, man. That's leadership. That's leading from the front. That's you know, you can't expect an administrator to come in with a full uniform and vest every day, but they do.
That's a different level of respect.
They do from time to time, and I know Sheriff Fulton does, and every now and then he has his dress down days. I know Chief Valley does, and every now and then he has his dress down days, as they should, man. It's not. It's leadership.
Yeah, well, you know, I went through the Citizens Police Academy for the Sheriff's Department twice, and Jimmy, you know, another respectable thing about him is that here's my personal cell phone number, and in front of the whole class, he gave it to, made sure every single person said, "You call me anytime, 24 hours a day, this phone is on."
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, I mean, and I've been to other events where he's done that too.
And if you don't answer, he's gonna call you back.
He'll call you back.
He's gonna call you back. You need to come to our show, man. Come to our Citizens Police Academy one.
I would love to. I would love to.
I don't think you have to be a citizen in Galveston to do it. I don't see why you would.
Yeah, I think they let city
You know,
police
do
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty good, man. It's a lot like the other one. It's
They're
worth it.
talking about the sheriff out harassing people for no bike.
I appreciate everything you do for law enforcement, everything you do for these guys.
These people are a joke, man.
Like I said,
I find it respectable.
The guys and gals that work with Mark PD.
I saw on Harvey's live stream the sheriff's out there stopping black people for riding bikes.
County, because of the lack of numbers in the amount of call volume. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, I ask everybody that's watching to keep them in your prayers.
Yeah.
The 10 people.
They're in a rough spot.
Yeah.
The building and
Good Lord.
they're in a rough spot. Our city's in a rough spot.
Yeah.
But man, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
It's the second time he said that.
Absolutely. We'll do it again.
Yes, sir.
Rago Monkey, what up, man?
Appreciate it, man.
What a joke, man. Look at these lames. I done picked up a new word. I guess it's over. How embarrassing. So, y'all, I just want to there's Lowry. I don't know if that's his tip line, or I guess it is, since he's advertising it on Facebook. That came from his Facebook page, that photo. But y'all, look, here's why he's like, I appreciate what you do. And Detective Rogers is sitting there telling Lowry, I appreciate what you do too. Well, let's talk about what it is they do. These guys are hard right-wing Republicans, okay? And they're a part of this military industrial complex. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but they're a part of the system, okay? And the system is designed to divide and conquer, okay? And that Lowry is like a key player in that. There's nobody better at getting people stirred up and fighting, especially black people and Democrats. So that's what these guys are all about. Divide and conquer, left versus right. Oh, the Democrats are bad. Oh, and if you follow any of them or listen to them or look at their pages, they really go after and get, especially Lowry. Yeah. So very racist guy. Like he's had Facebook pages taken down. But on these Facebook pages that were taken down, like he's posted pictures of the mayor and stuff and put monkeys next to him. Very disrespectful. This is all this divide and conquer bullshit. He's a big MAGA Trump supporter. And I don't care what side you're on. If you're playing into this left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, you're getting played. It's a game. Nothing's ever going to get fixed until the left and the right come together and work together. I mean, think about it. It's divide and conquer. As long as the left and the right are fighting with each other, then nothing's ever going to change. And the people that are in power are going to continue getting away with what they're getting away with. And they're going to get away with more. And that's what these guys are doing. They're dividing and conquering. Okay. They're causing a distraction and keeping people fighting. So maybe that's why they're letting Lowry get away with all of his crimes, because he's doing such a good job at stirring up shit and creating controversies. And all I'm doing is exposing what he's doing. I'm not trying to get caught up in the left versus right bullshit. If you're a Democrat and you act like Lowry, I'm going to blast you too, because I don't go left or right. I don't believe in it. But that's what these guys are. These guys are divide and conquer. They're a part of the system. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. So this guy, Detective Rogers, he is the president of the union. He's very corrupt. He's the guy that, and he's trying to blame it on the DA, but he was the detective that investigated Chief Roy trying to run me over. And you heard Lowry in this interview said, oh, he walked into a parked fire truck. How can you say that with a straight face? I mean, the video is clear as day. The guy tried to run me over. And this guy sits there with a straight face and says, hey, walked into a parked fire truck. He has no credibility. He has no shame at all. He's just a dishonest, lying maggot. I mean, he bought 9,000 followers for his Facebook page last night, and then has the nerve to make posts on his Facebook page trying to defend himself for the 9,000 bots that he bought. What did I want to show y'all? Let's get this off the screen. Oh, hold on. Let's remove that. And we're going to wrap this up here pretty quick. Let's see. How do I get rid of this? Okay, get rid of it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let me show y'all what kind of dirtbag this Detective Rogers is, man. Here it is. So Detective Rogers runs this page, okay? And let me just show you how what I was just talking about, divide and conquer, creates controversy. Like he's not professional at all. He runs this page and he acts like he'll put comments in here and you'd think it's coming from a gangster off the street. Let me see. Oh, you know what he did? So they were having a training exercise. The police set up a training exercise, and a very dangerous and reckless exercise. It involved training officers in water. Okay. Well, they had nets in the water. One of the guys that was training, one of the cops, got hung up in one of the nets underwater for over a minute. They said he almost died. They got an ambulance there. The EMS did amazing. They showed up. They saved the cop's life, did the CPR, got him breathing again, had him talking. He was responsive. He was stable. Well, they had him in the back of the ambulance, and Detective Rogers starts losing his mind, hollering at EMS, saying, what's wrong with you? Let one of our cops drive the ambulance. You need to be going. He literally tried to hijack the ambulance because he was pissed off that the ambulance crew wasn't driving to the hospital already. They had the guy stable. They weren't in any hurry, but Detective Rogers wanted one of his police officers to hijack the ambulance and drive it through town recklessly and dangerously and put the whole public in danger over a guy that was responsive and breathing. Okay, EMS did an amazing job. He should have thanked EMS for saving that cop's life. But instead, this is what he does. He blasts EMS. I'm going to find it. Tells EMS they owe the police an apology. And this guy is just trash. Let's see. Here he is licking. See, Grizzy Hood News. She does the same thing I do. She records police, and they're perfectly okay with her. They let her get so close. They would let her sit in the police car just like they do the old TV show Cops. And it's because the police can do no wrong, and she spreads the police propaganda and their rhetoric. And I don't watch her enough to know, but she probably feeds into that divide and conquer bullshit as well. I don't watch her enough to know. I'm going to find this post, y'all, of him demanding an apology from the EMS people after they saved one of his officers' lives. So here he is. Okay, I'm going to find some of his comments where he is just a vile. You would think he's a gangster off the street, the way he talks to people on this page. August 13th. Where is this post, man? Am I missing it? Looks like he deleted it, y'all. July 27th. I don't remember the date that this happened. He probably deleted it, y'all, because, I mean, he completely embarrassed himself. There was hundreds and hundreds of comments. July 23rd. I don't think I passed it up already. Oh, man. He must have deleted it. What a lame. What was the date that happened? Hold on, everybody. We got some more stuff to talk about. Don't go. This is a live stream. You guys bear with me. I'm going to be getting comments tomorrow like, bro, you need to learn how to edit your videos. This is ridiculous. Wingspan can't find it either. He deleted it. Like, what a piece of shit, man. They saved this cop's life, and you're going to get on Facebook and start a war with EMS, demand an apology? What was the date when a Galveston police officer almost drowned doing a oh gosh. What was the date when a Galveston police officer almost drowned doing a training exercise recently? Question mark. September 3rd. Okay. Let's go back. And you know what? After he did that, I went public on a couple of my live streams and I said, Detective Rogers, you should apologize to EMS. How dare you? What a disrespectful punk, man. Throwing a little hissy fit. Like, this guy is not a good guy, man. And the fact that he shows up and works with Lowry, wow, there's a big gap here, man, y'all. He has deleted a lot of stuff. August 12th. I went back a while away. There's September 2nd right there. What is this? September 3rd right here. That's not it. Is this it? Here's this morning, 2 members. Okay, this is where he's talking about what happened, but this is not where he threw a fit and demanded an apology. Here it is. This is it right here. Look at this. 1,600 comments, y'all. Let's look at this document. Here it is. I found it. Sorry it took so long, y'all. Let me get my glasses. I mean, this guy. the fact that he's left it up and hasn't deleted it, I mean, unbelievable, man. Like EMS paramedics are heroes, man, and they saved this cop's life. Okay, the fact that Rogers, Detective Rogers, and whoever organized this reckless and dangerous exercise, they should have had EMS already sitting there on the spot. Okay, I should have already been there. So they showed up and they were already behind because people didn't plan this and have EMS already there, and Rogers is going to give them shit about it, cuss them out. Can you imagine letting a police officer hijack the ambulance and drive it through town? Yeah, I mean, you're not even trained to drive an ambulance. You probably don't even know how to turn the sirens on. I mean, think about how reckless and dangerous that would be. Let's read this together, y'all. As many already know, yesterday, 2 of our members, GMPA, which is Galveston Municipal Police Association, lodge, it's a lodge, Fraternal Order of Police. Like I said, this is the club, this is the military industrial complex, whatever you want to call it. There's several other names. You guys get the picture. One of our members was trapped underwater for 90 seconds. Upon being rescued, the member was completely unconscious and did not have a pulse. CPR was administered by members of GPD, dive team, and members of the Houston Fire Department who were leading the training. Yeah, I mean, firefighters are basically EMS. At approximately 9:23, EMS arrived on scene. Our member was rushed to the ambulance to be transported to John Seeley Emergency Room. This is the norm in certain incidents. Officers with GPD and the Sheriff's Department had streets blocked to assist EMS to get to the emergency room as quickly as possible. John Seeley Emergency Room was notified of the emergency and had medical personnel waiting and ready to receive our member upon arrival. Often in these instances, Galveston EMS will have a firefighter drive the ambulance so EMS employees can both work while transport is being made. Yeah, that's if it's already planned in the plan, if it's already a part of the policy. You know, they're not just going to let some hot-headed cop who's all frantic and cussing at people hijack an ambulance. Unfortunately, EMS waited over 20 minutes to leave the scene and transport our member due to one EMT needing to train the other on entering information into the computer system. Officers with GPD and the Sheriff's Office requested to drive the ambulance and or to start the transport and were told to mind their own business and allow EMS to do their job. Exactly. Mind your own business. Let them do their job. They saved this cop's life. There was no emergency. Okay. They did a damn good job. You should have thanked them and shook their hand. But instead, this is the kind of bullshit you pull. Now, yeah, I mean, I could understand if the guy was still unconscious and not breathing. I could understand why you would be upset. But, I mean, these guys basically have a hospital room in the back of that ambulance. The guy was talking. They had an IV, I'm sure. Anyways, we were told to mind our business and allow EMS to do their job. Good for them. I'm glad they did. Our officers were also not able. I mean, look, these people that drive these EMSs, they have educations, they have college degrees, they're highly skilled, they're very smart people, they know what they're doing. Okay, these cops don't have any education, any skills. They go to police academy for 4 or 5 weeks and they learn violence and how to be scared of everybody. Okay, they don't know shit. The fact that he stuck his nose in and tried to boss these EMS around is disgusting. This guy ought to be ashamed of himself. Can't even finish reading this. I'm getting upset already. Our officers also were not able to speak to EMS supervisors simply because one never showed up. To say we are disappointed in Galveston EMS would be an understatement. The lack of professionalism and caregiving to our member will not be tolerated. They saved this guy's life. What do you mean it's not going to be tolerated? We have a voice and we will speak up on behalf of our members, and we are respectfully requesting immediate action from Galveston EMS supervision. Okay, here it is where he wants the apology right here. I was about to say, where is the apology? It's over here on the right-hand side. Galveston EMS should be ashamed of themselves for the action or lack thereof on their part yesterday while transporting one of our members. We are highly disappointed and believe Galveston EMS owes our member and his family an explanation and an apology. What a bunch of bullshit. You believe that? So what Detective Rogers should have done was told the family, look, don't get all riled up about this. They know what they're doing. He was stable. He wasn't in critical condition, but they think because they're cops that they should have some kind of special treatment, and the flag should be lowered to half staff, and there should be a 9-mile police escort to the hospital. These EMS know what they were doing. Owes our member and his family an explanation and an apology. All right, now I want to show you guys how rude this guy is with his remarks that he makes to people. Vanessa McAfee says, new rule: when calling someone unprofessional, you must first be professional. What's Rogers' response? He starts attacking the mayor of Texas City about sexual assault allegations against him. Nobody even mentioned that. So here he is. He's immediately with this divide and conquer bullshit, just like I said earlier. Let's read some more of his comments. Here he is. He says, well, we're glad he's educated because based off of what you just typed, you surely are not educated. This is he's talking to this woman and just told her she's not educated. That's not professional. And then he posts this, mocking this woman on the Galveston Municipal Police Association page. I saw one comment where some lady made a comment and Rogers responded, well, seeing how you've got an arrest in your past for pills, we're not listening to you. I mean, just completely unprofessional, a douchebag. Lowry's a convicted meth cook, but you're sitting in his living room doing an interview with him. Here we go. As a paramedic of 10 years, I read this letter with great concern and empathy for the injured officer. Very glad to hear that they're recovering. First, I have doubts that the reported 20-minute delay was simply due to writing or computer training. In my experience, delays of that length and high acuity calls are usually the result of communication breakdowns, coordination issues. All right, this is a long. This guy wrote a book. There was a lot of comments from EMS people that said this is normal. The guy was anyhow, look, you guys go over to their page and check it out. The guy's completely disrespectful, rude. Let's take a look at before we leave. Yesterday, oh, look at that. I started this live stream. It had 8.4 and now it's already at 9.2. Yesterday it was at 9.4, then it dropped down to 8.4. This guy bought a bunch of followers. Let's look at his followers. Look at this. They're all from overseas, y'all. Look at this. So yesterday this account had 200 followers, y'all. Look at his followers. And we're going to end on this. Look at this. Look at all these paid bots followers. Anybody in law enforcement, look at this. These are all overseas foreigners, which there's nothing wrong with that, but these are over 9,000 of them since yesterday. This is what paid for followers looks like. Bots. Every one of them. You know what I mean? Anybody that has any kind of integrity or professionalism that wants to be work with the public's trust should not have anything to do with Councilman Lowry. I mean, the guy is a proven liar. Here, he's bought 9,000 followers yesterday. That's a scam. That's a lie. Look at that. They're all overseas bots. What a pathetic joke. One more thing about Detective Rogers, and then we're going to end this. So Rogers, like I said earlier, if you're coming in late, Rogers is the one. What's up, Chuck? Rogers is the one that investigated Chief Roy trying to run me over, and he hit me. And as you heard in their interview, Lowry said that I walked into a parked fire truck. It's just a liar. Okay. And what's up, King Chow Chow? And so here recently, there was a guy on Avenue R in Galveston. There was a guy shot and killed over, I think it was road rage. Okay. They made an arrest. They arrested an Uber driver. Like within an hour, they arrested an Uber driver and charged him with murder, put him in the Galveston County Jail, charged him with murder, y'all. Okay. Well, a couple of days went by and they announced that they dropped the charges and released the guy. There was exculpatory evidence. There was video evidence that showed that this Uber driver that they arrested for murder didn't have anything to do with this murder. So Detective Rogers, I was there on the scene recording, and he tried to talk to me, and I was like, look, man, the video you claimed doesn't show what you said it showed. What's up with that? And that was the DA. It wasn't me. See you later. And he ran off. But anyways, I'm getting off the subject. The subject is that they arrested the wrong guy for murder. When they let him out, because it was exculpatory evidence, they let him out of jail. And then they said their excuse is that the gunshot residue test was a false positive, y'all. So that was their reasoning for arresting this guy for murder. They didn't have any probable cause. They didn't have any evidence at all. Why they arrested this guy for murder, I don't know. And then they let him go a couple of days later, dropped the charges, and said the gunshot residue test was faulty. I mean, you just put somebody in jail for murder. And look, there's only 2 investigations that I know of. I don't know a lot about Detective Rogers. I know he investigated the crime against me where Chief Roy tried to run me over. That's a felony with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He covered that up and nothing happened to Chief Roy. Then I know about the investigation of this murder that happened a few weeks ago. He arrested the wrong guy for murder and then claimed it was a faulty gunshot residue test. Well, I don't know. I'm not a police officer, but that's not enough probable cause to put somebody in jail for murder, a bad gunshot residue test. So you botched that investigation. You let the guy out because there was exculpatory evidence. What if there wouldn't have been this video that proved that this guy wasn't there and couldn't have done the murder? They would have buried this guy and he'd still be in jail for murder, and they would have prosecuted him and put him away for a crime he didn't commit. Now, here's where it gets shady, okay? The boy who got killed, his mom was there. His mom watched him get shot. I talked to his mom, okay? They still haven't arrested the guy. They let the guy out of jail, the one they falsely accused and falsely charged. They let him out of jail. Faulty gunshot residue test. But the real killer has not been arrested yet. And from what the mother has told me, allegedly, they know who it is. And for whatever reason, they're not arresting this guy. And that's all I know. And like I said, it's allegedly. And this is just hearsay. I don't know if it's true or not. But yeah, why are you not? What's going on with that case? But anyways, okay, y'all, we're going on an hour and a half. Look at these fake. I mean, it's just look at these names. These are Joseph Lowry's paid for bots that he bought last night. I mean, this guy is just an absolute disgrace and a fraud. Any police officer that would actually sit down and hang out in this guy's house, it just goes to show you the level of how bad that cop is. Any decent police officer that has honor and integrity and morals would never be seen associated with this guy for nothing. Anybody that was a decent human being that knows Lowry's reputation would not want anything to do with him. Look at this. This is who Joseph Lowry is. He bought 9,000 fake followers yesterday. Look at this. Every account. Overseas Chinese bots, y'all. Everyone. Look at this. Thousands and thousands of them. Thousands and thousands of them. All right. Let's go back to his to his. Okay. Yeah, 9.2 thousand followers, y'all. Yesterday he had like 200. So out of his 9,000 followers that he picked up yesterday, he posted this live stream 2 hours ago. All right, he just picked up 9,000 followers since yesterday, and in 2 hours, this post got 0 likes. And then he's got one comment, and that comment says, "Surprised he is doing something with a nobody like you. He's probably doing it to get out of work today." No, he's doing it because Lowry paid him. Lowry pays for everything. That's what he paid for his followers. He pays the police. That's why he doesn't get arrested. He admitted the other day he gave Detective Fullen a campaign contribution. And I don't care what you say. When you donate to the sheriff's campaign contribution, you're going to get special favoritism. They're going to look the other way when they should be charging you. Now, here he is. This was 4 hours ago. It's got 2 likes, y'all, and he gained 9,000 followers since yesterday. Here he is bitching about Costa Loca. Costa Loca is the guy that he's a retired sheriff's department officer, and he is he's been calling out bad cops. He's been calling out Detective Rogers. Here's Detective Rogers right here. I got something coming soon for old coin machine Kenny. He picked the wrong one to come out. Okay, so yeah, I talked to him, Costa Loca, and when he was like 16 or 17, him and his high school buddies, I think they broke into a coke machine. Big fucking deal. Lowry's a convicted meth cook. You're not saying anything bad about him, but here Lowry and Rogers are both attacking this guy. Why? Because he's calling out bad cops. Look at this. He posted this 7 hours ago, y'all. Is Costa Loca and Harvey Freebird harassing my followers? We lost 500 followers overnight since these parasites are attacking me. Yeah, it's weird. He had 9.4 thousand followers yesterday after he bought all the bots. Then this morning it dropped to 8.4, and now it's at 9.2. And we just looked at them. They're all overseas bots. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about was this. For all of those that are asking how to report Harvey Freebird's channel on YouTube, I will show you. That's one of the reasons I went live. He was going to do a tutorial during his live stream to show people how to fake report my channel, but he didn't do it. For all of those that are asking how to report Harvey Freebird on YouTube, I will show you. I will do a tutorial later to show people how to report fraudulent bullies that harass first responders and their spouses. Is he talking about Grizzy? Yes, you can report on YouTube. His Facebook page can be reported just like normal, and it's under Harvey Freebird, just like his YouTube. With the amount of people that are reaching out to me reporting his page for bullying harassment, I couldn't imagine YouTube keeping it up much longer. Maybe he'll pick up another area to terrorize, and he'll stop harassing people in Galveston County. He spelled heal, H-E-A-L. No, here's the thing. I don't care if you mass report a channel or not. When they're fake reports, nothing happens. And what does happen is your channel gets labeled a bad faith reporter. So he's only hurting himself. Nothing's happening to my channel. So here he is. This was 21 hours ago. He posts this. Network breaks 9,000 followers. And then it's just this garbage. I'm not reading all this garbage. And look, it's got 18 comments, y'all, this post of his celebratory post. Oh, we just broke 9,000 followers. Went from 2,000 followers to 9,000 followers in seconds. 18 comments. Let's read what these 18 comments say, y'all. Where are they at? Oh, we got most relevant. We got to click on all comments. All comments. Oh, he deleted all of them. What a lame loser, man. This guy is trash. Unbelievable. What a freaking joke, man. $37,000 organic followers. I didn't buy any of my followers. I have noticed one thing. I was looking at my followers this morning, and here recently, I've had a lot of my new followers are black people, and I think that's great. They need to learn their rights, but yeah, 37,000 organic American followers. And if I have people from overseas that follow me, that's fine too. I have a lot of followers from Australia, UK. So let's take a look at this.
Well, look-a here. Joseph Lowry's Facebook page suddenly gained over 9,000 followers in a matter of seconds. Amazing. But when you actually look at these new followers, they're clearly fake accounts. These are foreign bot farms, foreign bots, random names, no real people. It's obvious that he bought them. What kind of person does this? This is low even for Joseph Lowry standards. This is a new low. He's already shown himself to be corrupt, dishonest, and manipulative. Somebody who files false reports on people who are doing honest work on their channel. He attacks people who tell the truth. He plays dirty politics. And now this, buying fake followers to look popular? This shows you everything you need to know about Joseph Lowry. No morals, no honesty, no integrity, just deception and lies. Honestly, it's embarrassing. How can this man wake up every morning and look in the mirror or show his face in public? Anybody who's in law enforcement or politics who chooses to be connected with Joseph Lowry in any kind of way should be ashamed of themselves, because associating with Joseph Lowry means associating with a scammer, a fraud, a liar, a thief, and someone who has no business being in any position of trust. What a joke. What a disgrace. What a loser. What a lame. Unbelievable. Look at these names. Thousands and thousands of them. Unreal. I would be so embarrassed. I would delete this channel immediately. I don't care if I paid $10,000 for these fake followers. Well, look-a here. Joseph Lowry's face.
Yeah, y'all. And look, that's fraud, okay? You can, this channel's not going to last long. It's Lowry's News Network. See, here's the thing. When you report a channel and there's actually fraud like this, Facebook considers that fraud. So anybody who reports his channel, it's going to be taken seriously. That channel is going to be down any day now. It's just a matter of time. I don't even report channels. He's had 3 channels taken down in the last month, and I haven't made one report on any of his channels. It just happens naturally, man. When people, the public, are not going to be fooled by fraud and bullshit. But anybody who reports his channel for fraud, misinformation, a scam. The guy's a scam. He bought 9,000 followers. So they've been reporting my channel, and nothing's happened. Nothing's happened to my channel. My channels are in good standings. I got messages from YouTube yesterday and Facebook telling me, keep up the great work. We're going to start promoting your page to even more people because you put out great content and you follow the monetization guidelines. I get those messages pretty regularly. That's why I've gained probably, I don't want to misquote the numbers, but Facebook has been on a roll, man. I've been gaining 1,000 followers every 3 days on Facebook, and that's been consistent for several weeks now. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end this. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. I just thought we would have fun and watch this loser and this corrupt police officer lick each other's boots for over almost an hour. And as I predicted, they couldn't help it but to talk about me most of the time. And anytime they talked about anybody else, they just licked boots and went to their divide and conquer bullshit propaganda. That's all they're known for. Look, you guys enjoy your Sundays. Appreciate every one of you. Love all my supporters from Canada, the UK, Australia, the Netherlands, Mexico, wherever you're at. I love everybody. Africa. Organic followers. See y'all later.